I'm swearing before notary, before me is notary Donna Johnson. I'm swearing before her that the statement I'm going to make via pre-recorded statement that I'm going to make here, called Case Statement 20091208, that WMV for Windows Media file, is going to be under oath, except for a few cases where I'm showing previous evidence. Everything you're going to witness in this file is under oath. I solemnly swear. Wagner, Faulkner, and Judd wish to file a motion to dismiss and for filing sanctions for the harm it's caused in defending this case. I'm going to show you a clip, not under oath, but this was recorded in the past, of me talking to prepaid legal courtesy in line of Wagner, Faulkner, and Judd to warn them that it's going to cost them money if you don't tell me these things aren't happening outside a lawsuit. So here's that clip. That would be a nice start. I mean, so you're sending me a letter. It would be nice if you could send me an affidavit also that would indicate that there was no conflict of interest. And I don't mean just a statement, a written statement. I mean an affidavit, sworn statement. Is that possible? And previously you've told me no, absolutely not. There's no way that we're going to do this. I even suspect that Dan Smith has even conspired to kill me. And I don't know exactly at what level of allegation that you're willing to put my mind at ease, but I think that these statements are striking enough that you would want to attend to these, other than just a written statement indicating that I'm no longer I cannot be reinstated at prepaid legal. In other words, I may have to do legal action here. Basically, this is your last chance at stopping me from commencing legal action.
Okay, we are not going to be able to provide you with that written statement or that affidavit with that information. That's just not something that we are going to be able to provide you with.
Okay, what does it take besides a lawsuit in order to actually get something done besides just believing your word? You know what I'm saying? Okay. What inflammatory statement do I need to actually make you do something besides nothing for me? Besides me having to launch a lawsuit? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've word that Dan Smith at Faulkner Wagner Judge that he molests children as well. At what level of inclination do I have to get something established that this is not true? That he attempted to kill me? That he's got a conflict of interest? That he molests children? I mean, at what level does I don't understand where I can get stuff done, where I can get answers to these questions.
We are only able to send out the no reinstatement. We are not able to provide any more information other than that. We would other information.
And perhaps a refund would be nice from prepaid legal if there's a conflict of interest, which you can't just tell me over the phone that there's no conflict of interest, but that you have to swear to it, that there was none. That way the money I paid you was worth something. Otherwise it wasn't worth anything, and I have a valid legal cause claim for a lawsuit. You know what I'm saying?
We don't have any information saying that there was a conflict of interest with Dan Smith or any other attorney within the law firm or the law firm itself.
All right, well, you say that there's none, or there's no information. I'm just saying I need a legal statement. A legal statement is the closest we have to the truth. And that affidavit is a legal statement indicating that there was, that when I see that indicates to me the truth. And it's you know, these letters in the mail indicating, you know, what it doesn't mean anything. I want affidavits because I lost a lot of cases because of, perhaps because, well, I allege because of that law firm giving me improper advice, conflict of interest. So I mean, it could be quite a mess, and all I needed is a statement from you indicating that there's no conflict of interest. Otherwise, I guess I need to start a lawsuit, you know. And you know what I'm saying? The notarized statement, the affidavit, is going to cost you nothing but 2 minutes of your time. A lawsuit's going to cost, you know, the lawyers there a number of hours of time.
We're just not able to provide the information.
Oh, God. All right. I guess that's it. I don't know what else to ask. I don't know what else. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. You have a great day.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
As you can see, I warned Wayne and Faulkner Judd about a lawsuit that's going to cost them money. So I don't want to hear them complaining when I take them to court and it's going to cost them money. I warned them that it was going to cost money. And it was free beforehand. Now, so I oppose, not only do I oppose the motion for sanctions, but I oppose the motion to dismiss. Right now I have discovery open on both clients, and I'm waiting for the judge to actually make his stand, to even acknowledge that this case even exists. He's actually a part of this. I've submitted interrogatories to the state of Minnesota for him because it's part of this. All three of Dan Smith was talking with Alexander Jeezy and the judge. They were like conspiring to get this thing dismissed, and and I'm making these statements under penalty of perjury. That I don't need to be sanctioned. Just file perjury charges on me because I'm quite sure these are happening, and I'm not told that they're not. So that's why I want this case to go forward. Right now, I have this discovery is open. There's a trial scheduled. That's great. I don't want this to get dismissed. I'm going to say via power suggestion that this case will not get dismissed. Not to disregard what the judge might say, it's just simply a power suggestion. It's a prayer. I'm saying to the system, this is not going to get dismissed. In a prayer that says, this is not going to get dismissed. This case will not get dismissed. This will go to trial. I'm going to talk about why this thing needs to go to trial. The defense might state or even borderline make fun of my past record in which all the judges dismiss my cases despite these allegations that people are trying to kill me. Don't let that mislead you that I'm here to seek out truth and justice. I'm sorry that the judges didn't see that way, but I am trying to, if I could get this thing to trial, this is what would happen. That under oath now, because of me, I implemented a system called Truth Under Oath, where nobody can lie under oath. It's been happening for a number of years now. I've noticed this since 2007. And the beauty of it is that, well, the way it works is very beautiful, but it's also elusive. And if nobody wants to pay attention to the fact that the defense never tells me that I'm safe or that they're not trying to kill me, or all these other allegations, if they don't tell me it's not happening, then it is. And the reason why they don't say it, the reason why they don't tell me that they're not trying to kill me is because they are. So if I get to a trial where I have a jury and I say to them, listen, I'm going to tell you what these people are doing to me and my family, and when they don't respond to counter that, that indicates that indicates the worst. It's the worst scenario. If I say that they're trying to kill me, and they come back saying there's no evidence that they're trying to kill me, that's not saying that they're not trying to kill me. Despite the fact that I don't have a bullet in my head, that's the evidence that the police are working at. This is a civil trial, in which it's, yeah, it probably happened. Yep. criminal matter, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. Civil, yeah, it likely happened. That's why O.J. Was acquitted on the criminal and lost the civil, because it's easier to win a civil. That's why I'm here, not because that yes, what I'm doing is getting money via a criminal act. That's called a tort. So what I'm doing is, a tort is a civil right to a criminal wrong. So I'm trying to get money for that. I'm going to get money for that. Again, it's a power suggestion that says that by saying these things, by saying that I am God under oath, that these things are true. That by saying that this case will not get dismissed, that I will get large sums of money for this case, that's going to make it true. It's a power suggestion. It's a form of prayer, power suggestion that indicates when you're under the legal system, under the oath now, that these become reality. So what I'm doing is, if I get a jury there and I say, listen, under oath now, nobody can lie under oath, and if I make these allegations and they don't tell me it's not happening, then it is. And thus, with that evidence, because they're not telling me it's not happening, that is the evidence. The truth is the evidence that they cannot lie under oath, so that they cannot tell me these things aren't happening. That means they did. It's kind of like you point to a person, you say, okay, who stole the candy bar? And he says nope, and this person says nothing. When he says nothing, that means that he stole the candy bar. Okay, if he's under oath. See how it works? By not saying you didn't do it, you did it. So the uncomfortable insinuation is the default when you don't say anything to an allegation or an answer. So let's go through the counts here. What I'm going to do here is ask the defense here in this courtroom. Chris Rolla Live is going to pause this video to ask the question, the uncomfortable question, and if nobody responds, it means it's the uncomfortable answer. So, for instance, I'm going to ask the defense: Did y'all conspire to end a conciliation court case here in Hennepin County called Case 0803-27031? Chris Rolla Live is going to ask this, and if there's no response, it indicates that there was a conspiracy to end that case. Okay, so next is we're going to ask whether Chris Roller is God or not. The default is that he is. Anybody in the courtroom can say he is not, and we'll pause for that answer. Next, did Chris Roller create a service in which nobody can lie under oath anymore? In other words, the default is, with no answer, the default is yes, nobody can lie under oath anymore. So we'll pause for that answer. Next, it gets back to the cases. Last two were concerning validation so that the jury will understand what is happening here. This will be used as evidence for the trial. Now back to the case, or the case in hand. Was there a conflict of interest with Chris Roller? And that conflict of interest would be like with Dan Smith. He's not supposed to be giving me advice if he's conspiring with the other two defendants to dismiss a case with Bosley in the conciliation court case I mentioned. And also, Dan Smith should not be hating me for suing David Copperfield and the other cases that I make myself out to be a troublemaker. If he doesn't want me to win, he shouldn't be talking to me. He should find somebody in which that actually wants to say something of value so that I know what to do next. So that's conflict of interest. It's okay for Alexander Jeezy to have a conflict of interest because he's always been on the defendant's side, but the judge cannot be conspiring with the other two defendants to dismiss a case. That's conflict of interest. So let's pause for that. Next is discrimination. Did the judge in the conciliation case with Bosley, did he discriminate against me because of who I am, because I say that I am God or Jesus, that I am the God of truth and justice? Did he discriminate against me because he doesn't like who I am? Now, Dan Smith isn't allowed to do this, neither is the judge. So let's pause for that answer. Next is the conspiracy to kill Chris Roller. In other words, because of who I am, because of this discrimination, this hatred that builds up of the good that I'm going to provide the world, that there is this hatred, the hatred amongst many people. And despite the way it works is I'm in incredible danger truly, it's just I'm not in much danger really. In other words, under oath, I'm in incredible danger, but in reality I'm very safe because God protects me. So the next question pertains to, is anybody trying to conspire to kill me? With no answer, it means yes. Next is the talk of the molestation of my children. You see, that's a complicated situation. When I first told the public on my website that I told the international scene that I have immaculate conceived children, that I have a whole bunch of children via immaculate conception. This created if there was hatred if there was hatred against me to begin with, well, this added to the fire that other people are raising my children because I've immaculately conceived a guy's girlfriend or wife, and they think that I've maybe done something such that I've actually literally had sex with them, and so there's this hatred. And even if they don't think that I've had sex with them, they're just utterly mad that they're raising my children. And so there is a safety concern for these children. I haven't even mentioned that, so we're going to talk about that. A safety concern for the children, and then I even gone as far as the molestation of my children, because they would have done it for embarrassing purposes, to embarrass me or to punish me, to either try to kill the kids or molest them. So that's why I made this I don't call it allegation, call it statement of fact under penalty of perjury, that this is happening. So I have the right to defend my children, my family, and I've been trying to win in the court systems for so long that I was hoping to get to that point where I could start talking about these other children, this extended family that I have, and even provide for them via the lawsuits that I've tried to do, which this could get completely dismissed despite all the allegations of attempted murder on me. So with this pause, we're going to talk about, is anybody trying to kill my children? Okay, first, we're going to find out they're safe. Is anybody committing any crimes against my children? We're going to just say that, let's combine the two together, the safety concerns and the molestation of the children. That, first of all, we're going to talk about, does Chris Roller have any immaculate conceived children? Any children outside of his biological person-on-person sex? Is there children out there? So let's pause for that. No answer means that there are a bunch of children. Let's pause. Now, are there any crimes being committed against these children that are Chris Rollers via this extended family? Is there any crimes being committed? No answer means there are. Let's pause. Another answer we would like is, are there any crimes being committed against Chris Roller in the past 2 or 3 years by the defense? No answer means there are. So let's pause for that answer. Depending on the answers or the lack of answers given infers the worst scenario. And with that evidence, I could just take would be the evidence to use as trial, because if people cannot lie under oath and these uncomfortable accusations are not being answered, it means that they're doing them, and that is grounds for billions, if not trillions, of dollars in fees for committing these acts.